At some point in your life, you've likely wanted to build a new habit or break a bad one. You've probably had that strong desire to make a change, to improve things, and to act in the right way. But as you've probably realized, it's far more difficult than it seems. We've all faced failure, times when we couldn't reach our goals. And there's one crucial part of the process of becoming better people that's tough for everyone to get right. That key part is discipline. How many times have you made a plan, committed to a goal, only to stop after a few days, giving in to your impulses and returning to your old self? Like I said, it's something that happens to all of us at some point. But just because it happens to everyone doesn't mean it's okay, or that we should normalize it. Normalizing mediocrity only encourages us to settle for less, to stop challenging ourselves in life, and ultimately, to lose the chance of becoming the best version of ourselves. Let me say this: if you can't overcome your bad habits, change your routine, or follow through on your goals, you probably lack discipline. Discipline is the ability to push through short-term desires. Short-term desires are the enemy of lasting change, which is why to change your habits, you absolutely must develop discipline. Discipline is simply doing what you have to do, when you have to do it, even when you don't want to. In this video, I'll explain why discipline is so critical to becoming the person we want to be, why it's becoming harder than ever to stay disciplined, and I'll give you several tips to help you work on your discipline. Before we dive in, I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video. It helps spread this philosophy to more people. And if you don't want to miss any future content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. What happens to you isn't always what it seems. Being free doesn't mean doing whatever you want, whenever you want. True freedom is the ability to choose. Who do you think is freer? A lazy person who wakes up late every day, never fulfills their obligations, or someone who wakes up early and always takes care of their responsibilities? At first glance, the lazy person may seem freer because they do whatever they want, living life without care. But the truth is, they're not free at all. They're a slave to their laziness, stuck in a routine they can't break. On the other hand, the disciplined person, who wakes up early and handles their responsibilities, has the real freedom of choice. They can choose to be vigilant or responsible, and that choice is available every morning of their life. The disciplined person, in their freedom, decides to act with discipline because they know it's the right thing to do. This is the real meaning of freedom. Being able to choose responsibility when it's time, and to enjoy pleasure once you've fulfilled your obligations. The disciplined person lives free, while the lazy one is enslaved by their own habits, deceiving themselves into thinking they're happier or more free. This example can be applied to any addiction or bad habit you can imagine. Now that we've established that discipline makes us freer, we need to understand what it truly means to be disciplined. Whenever you set a goal, whether it's losing weight, building a business, becoming an elite athlete, or mastering a musical instrument, it requires work. But it's not just about putting in effort for one day. It's about consistent effort. And in order to maintain that effort, you need to overcome your impulses. The ability to resist those impulses, to act despite them, is what discipline is all about. Being disciplined doesn't mean you'll never want to relax. It means you've developed the ability to resist that temptation. The more you resist these urges, the better you'll get at it over time. Discipline works like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. It's also important to understand the difference between discipline and motivation. Motivation is a great fuel for getting things done, but it's inconsistent. One day you might feel motivated, but the next, that motivation could disappear. A person who only relies on motivation will never be able to make lasting changes or reach their goals, because, as we've seen, constant effort is required, not just for a few days. However, when you're disciplined, the result is different. Motivation can help you start, but once discipline takes over, it keeps you going, even when motivation is gone. Do you think elite athletes always want to train? Do successful writers always feel like writing? Does the most successful entrepreneur always want to work? That's where the difference lies between those who settle for mediocrity and those who strive to improve. We all feel like lounging on the couch or lying in bed, but not everyone has the ability to overcome those desires. This is where the disciplined have an advantage. So why are so many people lacking discipline today? Why is it getting harder to be disciplined? The answer lies in how life has become easier. When survival was at stake, there was no room for neglecting responsibilities because your life depended on them. But today, with life becoming more comfortable, two conditions are making it harder to cultivate discipline. The first is temptation. We're surrounded by more distractions than ever before. Things like TV or social media compete for our attention, and many of them are designed to keep us hooked, making it hard to focus on what truly matters. We have more distractions at our fingertips than at any other time in history, and it's up to us to learn how to manage the time we spend on these distractions. The second condition is the lack of resistance. A life of comfort offers fewer opportunities to practice discipline. As I mentioned earlier, discipline is like a muscle. It will atrophy if not used. In today's world, we don't need to be disciplined to survive. Amazon delivers our orders the next day, Netflix gives us endless entertainment, and social media delivers dopamine hits whenever we need them. We can even order food to our door in under 30 minutes. The list goes on. As I discuss in my video on the art of discipline, instant gratification is slowly removing the opportunities to practice discipline. Our patience is dwindling, and our attention span is shrinking. There's a quote by Seneca that I love, because it perfectly reflects how a life of ease takes away opportunities for growth and discipline. No one is more unfortunate than the man who has forgotten how to endure hardship, for he has no chance to develop his character. Unfortunately, the world is eliminating the sources of resistance that are essential for creating discipline. We must understand that no isn't inherently bad. It's just a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. Using comfort to rest after fulfilling your responsibilities is great, something I encourage. The problem arises with excessive comfort, which atrophies our discipline. Everyone enjoys sitting on the couch and relaxing. But discipline isn't about comfort. It's uncomfortable. It causes us pain, but that discomfort is what drives growth. It gives us a sense of development, accomplishment, and achievement. It shows us the limits of our abilities and allows us to surpass them. So how do we build discipline? The first step is to find a purpose. Set a goal you want to achieve. As I mentioned earlier, discipline is like a muscle. It needs to be trained. To make it grow, we need to create uncomfortable situations in our lives to practice it. Just like when training a muscle, you don't start by lifting 300 kilograms on your first day. You start with lighter weights. The same applies to discipline. Begin with small challenges, things that make you uncomfortable but are still achievable. Think about areas of your life that are uncomfortable but possible for you to tackle. Setting tasks that are too far beyond your current level of discipline is a waste of time. Similarly, setting goals you can easily accomplish doesn't help you grow. Conquering small, uncomfortable tasks will help you build your discipline gradually. Soon, you'll be able to challenge yourself with bigger goals. Every goal you achieve is like a repetition that strengthens your discipline muscle. Here are some goal ideas to help you work on your discipline. Try exercising regularly, like running a certain number of days a week or going to the gym. Besides being healthy, it'll boost your discipline. Participate in local sporting events. Use them as a challenge to push your limits and work on your discipline. For example, join a race or martial arts tournament. Few sports develop discipline as much as martial arts. Learn a new hobby, like cooking, sewing, or gardening. Developing new passions is perfect for practicing consistency and dedication to something that enriches you as a person. Build something. Starting and completing a project is an excellent way to practice patience, effort, and discipline. Wake up early. It's a tough task for many people, but it's perfect for building discipline. You don't have to wake up extremely early at first. Start small. I hope this video helps you become more disciplined, or at least inspires you to push yourself. Finally, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel for more content about Stoicism. I've also linked 2 videos packed with wisdom that you'll probably enjoy. See you next time.